Good morning. I'm Jenny Holzman-Tatro, Chair of the Board of Directors for Valley of the Sun United Way. And I'm so pleased to welcome and celebrate you and your fellow United Way supporters and all that we've accomplished together over the last 95 years. As we celebrate the past and look toward the future, we must also pause now to recognize that we are gathering at a very unique moment in time. In addition to the COVID-19 pandemic, we are witnessing inequities and violence across the country, most recently in Atlanta and in Boulder. And we are saddened by the unnecessary lives lost, and our hearts go out to those who lost a loved one, a friend, or a valued community member in these tragedies. But as United Way, we are committed to make a difference to help prevent the issues and the crises unfolding before our eyes. We will build community and unity to help those who may not know where to turn so that they don't turn to violence or to hate. And as board chair, I'm honored to stand in the footsteps of past leaders ranging from CEOs of locally headquartered Fortune 500 companies, publishers of national publications, leaders of our local sports teams, academic leaders, and a famed senator, all who believed in the power and the impact of United Way. Throughout our history, United Way has brought together individuals, businesses, and communities, uniting to help neighbors, co-workers, and millions of people they will never personally meet. It's that legacy of pulling together through the most challenging of times that makes us incredibly confident as we lay out our plans to help rebuild lives and livelihoods turned upside down by COVID-19. We know that it won't be easy, but it never has been. But our history shows that united, we can do mighty things. Let's begin our step forward together by taking a quick glimpse back in time with the United Way.
In the depths of a national crisis, our caring community rose up to bring the Valley together in the spirit of service and partnership. Sound familiar? But this was 1925, when the local Welfare League and the Community Chest joined forces to spark a 95-year legacy that is now the Valley of the Sun United Way. Looking back at a few milestones, it is clear that our deep understanding of the critical issues facing our neighborhoods and a strong desire to find the right solutions has remained constant. During the Great Depression, we created an unemployment relief program. While our bravest fought in Europe, we declared war on childhood hunger. When the war ended, the Valley boomed. By 1959, the United Fund partnered with 36 nonprofits and piloted our first $1 million campaign. In '71, we joined with thousands of affiliates from all over the country and became Phoenix Scottsdale United Way. When the swine flu hit in the mid-'70s, we stepped up with a vaccination program. In the early '80s, we officially became Valley of the Sun United Way. When a shocked nation fell into a financial crisis, we were there with critical funding and leadership. A few years later, forward-thinking visionary leaders and philanthropists established an endowment. Today, it is valued at over $50 million. In 2010, United Way shifted to a community impact model focused on homelessness, hunger, financial stability, and the success of children and youth. Then in 2011, a new network of passionate women came together to create lasting change. And to bring attention to childhood hunger, our volunteers set the world record for the most food packs created in 3 minutes. In 2015, we piloted an innovative virtual reading program enabling volunteers to help struggling learners succeed. Then in 2016, we met and surpassed our goal of 1,000 new permanent supportive housing units. For 95 years, community leaders have joined with United Way to ensure that ours is a history of caring, commitment, and accomplishment. Barry Goldwater was president of our board of directors. By the mid-'80s, Influential Philanthropists United in Maricopa County. United Way was built by and for our local community, and our community leaders were right there pitching in.
We all turn to Valley of the Sun United Way for expertise, innovation, and leadership.
I may be a new face in the Valley, but I'm not new to the amazing difference people like you can make through United Way.
United Way gives hope to 1 in every 3 Valley residents, including my friends Ricky and Sullivan here.
Before there was a madhouse on McDowell.
Before there was a Wallace and Ladmo show.
Before it was called Arizona State University.
Before there was air conditioning in the Valley.
Before there was the Westward Ho.
There was United Way.
Our history gives us a deep understanding of our community needs. This knowledge is leveraged by a fresh enthusiasm for United Way's mission. In 2019, we welcomed our first female Latina CEO and president. And as we pause to celebrate 95 years of advocating, volunteering, and giving, we look forward to a future of being the nexus of our community, connecting solutions and leading change. And it's working.
Thank you.
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 Gracias.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you to Jenny for such important and powerful words this morning. I'm Kristen Keogh with Social Television Network, and I am so thrilled to be your host today as we celebrate United Way's service to Maricopa County and to all of us who get to call it home. Let me start by introducing my co-anchor this morning. She is the first woman and Latina to lead Valley of the Sun United Way. Welcome, President and CEO Carla Vargas Jasa.
Well, thank you, Kristen, and welcome, everyone. What a thrill to see that so many people have joined our celebration today. And as Jenny mentioned, all of us have witnessed with great sadness the violence in Atlanta and Boulder. And while the recent violence tempers our celebration today, the plan we'll share to guide us over the next 5 years gives me more hope and even more conviction about the new direction of Valley of the Sun United Way. Our plan will, in every area, with everyone's help, prioritize increased access to all for help and needed services, bearing in mind the need to tackle systemic inequities while we're at it. For 95 years, United Way has belonged to this community and has partnered with our community to solve its most pressing issues. And although Maricopa County's needs have changed, what has remained constant is our unique role at the intersection of community leaders, businesses, donors, and our vital nonprofits and the people they serve, and bringing them all together for a shared cause. Let's take a look at the impact COVID-19 has had on our community and how your United Way and our partners have responded. 80 businesses and 500 individuals generously stepped up to provide more than $3 million, thousands of donated goods, and countless volunteer hours to help our nonprofit and school partners at the front line support families, students, seniors, business owners, first responders, and many others. Nearly 700,000 people in Maricopa County were helped through our COVID-19 response, and the impact continues every day. One of our employees who's been with United Way for 25 years summed it up best. Through all my years with Valley of the Sun United Way, she said, "This is our finest hour." This reflects the dedication of our whole team, as well as our resilience, passion, and service to our community.
And Carla, that really is such a powerful quote at this time, and all of this great work starts with a strong board of directors. You actually added 16 new members this past year, bringing even more diverse voices to United Way's leadership. That is so incredible, especially during such a disruptive time, Carla.
Kristen, you're absolutely right, and we are so fortunate that we had such a wonderful set of diverse leaders join us for our work ahead. I'm grateful for all of them, for their leadership and for their vision. And I especially want to thank our board chair, Jenny Holzman-Tatro, who you met earlier, who for being my partner in guiding us their leadership these past 2 years. And John Graham, who becomes chair in July, will lead us through the ongoing impacts of COVID-19 and the 5-year plan we launched today. And speaking of leaders, I personally want to thank a few of the past Valley of the Sun United Way CEOs who so successfully paved the path ahead of me. I want to honor and thank Brian Hassett, Paul Luna, and Merle Washler, who served as CEOs from 2001 to 2019. We took this fun photo together at Merle's retirement party just before I started, and so much of what we celebrate today is made possible by them, and to follow in their footsteps is a true honor for me. I also want to recognize Mark O'Connell, who led the organization in the mid-'80s and doubled our fundraising for this community. He's been a mentor and coach to me and was thrilled that I joined Valley of the Sun United Way. It's the honor of a lifetime to steward all of their leadership, and I hope I serve their legacy well.
And I believe that they're probably so proud of you already, Carla. And by the way, I loved that picture of the group of
silly
you.
and fun.
You know, we know you for your leadership, but you're all such warm, caring people, and that's what makes you the right leaders and makes you the perfect leader for this time that we're in, Carla.
Well, thank you.
And what I really love about United Way is that you don't do any of this alone, and you've never claimed to either. You make it very well known that it is a collective effort. And in fact, you pull thousands of people and organizations together to join in finding those solutions. And today, United Way is launching a Hall of Gratitude to pay tribute to these tremendous supporters. I'm so excited about this. And you're starting with a small group of inductees today, and then building the list of honorees as you lead up to an even bigger celebration for your 100th anniversary. So Carla, let's get to it. Let's announce your inaugural Hall of Gratitude honorees.
Well, thanks, Kristen. And I am so excited with this Hall of Gratitude to honor 2 amazing and generous individuals, a foundation, and 20 local organizations. Our first honorees are very, very close to my heart. They immediately welcomed me to this community and have been my rocks through my time here. I'm thrilled to share that Steve and Artie Evans are our first honorees in our Hall of Gratitude. Steve has served in nearly every leadership role with the United Way, from his current membership on our board to chairing our endowment, chairing our Tocqueville Society with Artie, and chairing our investment committee. They laid out the vision for and led our endowment campaign that today holds $50 million to ensure the strength and stability of our organization. They have true passion to end homelessness and led a group of donors whose support enabled us to reach our permanent supportive housing goal for this community. They lead with their generosity, their passion, expertise, and their time to make their community, our community, a better place for all. One of my happiest moments will be when I can spend time live with them again. So thank you, Steve and Artie Evans. Also in our new Hall of Gratitude, we are thrilled to honor the Helios Education Foundation. Through their mission committed to creating opportunities for educational success, Helios has been a critical partner to Valley of the Sun United Way. They partner with us to support professional development for early childhood educators, to improve grade level reading, and to launch Thriving Together, focused on student success in our urban core. This is through generous grants, a significant seed investment in our endowment, and their leaders' personal donations. Founding Chairman Vince Roig, along with his wife Jane, is a longtime member of our foundation circle, our Tocqueville Society, and he serves on our board of directors. President and CEO Paul Luna, who you met earlier in that funny picture, is also a member of our Tocqueville Society, along with his wife Hema, and supports United Way in so many other ways. Thank you, Vince, Paul, and everyone at Helios. Now, for our other honorees, from the beginning, partnerships with local businesses and their employees have been at the heart of our work. Our staff truly loves these organizations, so it's only fitting that they recognize these 20 incredible partners. Take it away, team.
Throughout our 95 years, Intel and its employees have given nearly $100 million to our community through United Way.
Snell and Wilmer is a longtime dedicated investor in our early childhood education, partnering to ensure children are well nourished and ready to learn.
Desert Financial and their employees are always alongside us no matter what is asked of them, with so much more than financial contributions, which are immense. And they've made it easy for their customers to join in as well through donations at their ATMs.
Thanks to Quick Trip and your employees for 10 straight years of increased investment in our community, including surpassing $1 million in annual giving during this challenging year.
As a leader in Tocqueville givers, Edward Jones reached their goal of donating more than $1 million.
Dedicated to serve in so many ways, USAA has supported many of our programs, especially those that serve veterans. In addition, they have also been the title sponsor of our We Are United luncheon since its inception.
From Student United Way to Sun Devils Unite to annual employee giving to many partnerships on community issues to breaking a Guinness World Record together, our partnership with Arizona State University is vast and is the envy of United Ways across the country. Forks up, Devils.
Bank of America is helping create the next great wave of caring leaders by supporting their employees' engagement with Generation United.
When we started Project Connect to end homelessness, American Express stepped up as the original title sponsor and sent their employees out every month in force to volunteer.
As our top employee giving campaign, the APS team continually invests more than $3 million through their annual giving.
For decades, Joe Dynamic employees have been making change happen through annual giving and volunteering.
Freeport-McMoRan gives even more to its employees' generosity by matching donations and encouraging volunteerism. Thank you, Freeport-McMoRan, for giving back to your home communities.
Nationwide has been in the business of caring for people, and since 1960 further achieved that commitment through their match of employee contributions.
Through their community grants and employee-driven booster programs, SRP has partnered with us and provided leadership to improve the entire valley.
Thank you, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Arizona, for your continued generosity and for improving children's health through programs like Breakfast in the Classroom.
City of Phoenix employees invest personally in our work and day-to-day are by our side to solve complex community issues.
JP Morgan Chase was early at the table, investing in asset-based community development, committed to improving lives through collaboration and empowerment.
Thanks to Wells Fargo for your continued support of financial literacy through the years, and for your dedication to young readers as our #1 fellow volunteer provider.
And thanks to PetSmart for decades of support of the other end of the leash.
We are incredibly proud of our partnership with Honeywell's Hometown Solutions campaign and all it's made possible across the decades.
Carla, I love that video because we got to see so many members of your team. You could just tell that they are so grateful.
They did such a great job, and they absolutely love what we do, and they love our partners who help us do it.
Great, great video. Now, over the course of the last year, while United Way responded to COVID-19, you were also out talking to the community, listening and learning about the most pressing issues and what the community viewed as your role in solving those issues. Through 44 surveys, town halls, and focus groups, you received input from more than 1,000 people. That's incredible. And that community input is what led to the goals and the plan that you're going to launch here today. So Carla, let's do it. Let's dive in.
Sounds good, Kristen. And you are right. We learned so much through those community conversations. And what we heard and saw loud and clear is that issues that existed before the pandemic are even more intense now. And systemic racial, social, economic, and educational inequities are clear through every issue. So equity must be a part of every solution. The issues are big, so striving for change alone isn't big enough. We must think and act more boldly, care more deeply, and that's why we aren't settling for just change. What we'll share today requires mighty change. We're shining a light on existing bold community goals, and we'll convene our partners, our supporters, and everyone here to achieve mighty change through our plan called MC 2026. The plan focuses on Maricopa County, its people, and is driven by the belief that together we can and we will achieve mighty change.
This is so exciting. I love that. So tell us, what do you hope to accomplish with your MC 2026 plan?
Well, let me start with our vision. We envision a community where every child, family, and individual is healthy, has a safe place to live, and has every opportunity to succeed. And that's in school, work, and in life. And this vision drives us to address opportunity gaps in 4 key areas over the next 5 years. These interrelated areas are health, housing and homelessness, education, and workforce development. And by addressing them together, we have the ability to create a far greater impact than if we approach them individually. And woven throughout is a focus on opening up opportunities by acknowledging and addressing systemic inequities. And we're inviting the community to join us with this plan through public awareness, advocacy, volunteerism, and investments in needed solutions. Now, we know some great work is already happening around all these areas, and United Way will focus on bringing many voices to the table, pulling together in the same direction to drive the big work ahead. And as a part of that, I'm thrilled to announce we're aligning with Valley leadership, the Greater Phoenix Economic Council, the county, and other countywide leaders on these issues.
So, Carla, before we talk about each goal individually, I want to invite everyone watching to learn more about Valley of the Sun United Way's plans by texting Mighty Change to 51555. It's right there on the screen for you. You can send that text at any time during this event, and you will then receive a link to more information. You can take a look at that information anytime you like. Once again, that's Mighty Change, and you're going to send it to 51555. And don't forget to add to the chat, too. Carla, you're going to share some big, important goals. United Way is going to use its expertise and convening power to shine a light on these goals and drive resources to achieving them. So here's what's going to happen. We are going to walk through each of the 4 areas one by one. Carla, you'll share the goal and the strategies. From there, we are going to bring on a local leader to chat with us and give us a few insights. So we're going to start with health, a new focus for United Way that is top of mind for all of us after more than a year of the COVID-19 health crisis. So Carla, please tell us your goals.
Well, Kristen, you're absolutely right. COVID uncovered some deep health-related gaps for too many of our neighbors. And we, as United Way, are ready to bring people together to change that. Over the next 5 years, we will work to remove barriers for vulnerable individuals in our community, to decrease the rate of people who are uninsured, and to decrease food insecurity in our community by half. Through advocacy and public policy, we believe we can increase access points for health care, including mental health care. And to start, we will prioritize communities needing services, such as homebound seniors who are experiencing food insecurity. We will partner with communities of color and vulnerable communities who often face barriers to access to health care and nutrition. This is a broad and far-reaching area of opportunity over the next 5 years. We recognize that. But imagine a community where there's no hunger and people can access the health care they need. Now that is mighty change.
And that is what we all want. I love that vision of what our community could be. And now I want to welcome Avian Tafoya, President and CEO of AST Consulting, which focuses on medical and nonprofit administration and cutting-edge healthcare design. Avian has long been committed to ensuring that all voices in the community are heard, and she is a member of the United Way Board of Directors. Avian, good morning. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. Good morning to you as well.
And you have led an organization increasing access to health care for many years. You've been at the heart of the COVID response, and directly you have seen its impact on people's lives. So we want to know from you, what do you think of United Way's new direction and adoption of health as an area of needed focus?
You know, Martin Luther King said that healthcare is the great equalizer. At no time in our history have we felt that more than in the last year of the pandemic. And more than just physical health, we want to talk about whole person health. That includes mental health, integrated behavioral health care, and nutrition. When kids don't have food to eat, they can't possibly learn. They can't possibly have a chance to be all that they can be. And I'm incredibly honored and impressed that United Way is looking at the core of this community by ensuring that every child, every senior, everyone in need has access to food and that they have access to health care, we know that they have a chance to succeed in the community.
And Carla, while we have Avian here, what do you want to ask her as you have this huge goal to move toward?
Well, thank you, Kristen. And Avian, thank you so much for being here with us, and so appreciate your leadership. And one thing that I'd want the community to hear from you is, what do you hope to see change in this community to really help to ensure everyone can be healthy with that focus on access to food and health care?
I think that health is not individual. It's really about the full population. We certainly saw that with COVID-19. You know, we have to team up as a community and ensure that all of our neighbors, all of our community has access to health care. If we're healthy and everyone else isn't, there are absolutely consequences to that. And we each have a role in prevention, in primary care, and in ensuring everyone in our community has a great chance.
Fantastic to have you here this morning. Thank you so much, Avian.
Thank you for having me here.
And I also want to mention, I was talking to Avian before we went on air, and she is the president and CEO of AST Consulting, and she was more proud to talk about her affiliation with United Way, and that says so much. Next up is homelessness and housing. Maricopa County is one of the fastest growing counties in the nation, and at the same time, its residents are facing evictions and foreclosures at a rate double of that in other communities. And on any given day here, more than 7,000 people are without a home. This is so terrifying and scary, Carla. So we're so excited to hear your plan. Please share what United Way has in store.
By 2026, we want to cut the number of families and individuals experiencing homelessness in half. In the short term, we'll partner with others to help ensure those at risk of eviction now know the resources available to help stay in their home. We'll continue to invest in emergency shelter and in programs that prevent homelessness and address the lack of affordable housing in Maricopa County. We'll collaborate with regional leaders, like the one you're about to hear, to create a countywide shelter system and develop a coordinated strategy for all types of housing needed, including the development of affordable housing. And we'll continue to support wraparound services to keep someone housed. We'll work to reduce systemic barriers to housing for communities of color. And we'll work to change the perception that homelessness is a public safety issue rather than a public health issue.
And this is really exciting and important work ahead. So we're bringing in the big guns here. Joining us is Michael Hughes, CEO of A New Leaf, which is a longtime United Way partner. Michael has led A New Leaf for 40 years, so he truly is the expert in this area. Michael, thank you so much for being here this morning.
You're very welcome.
We'd love to know from you, at this time, what are your biggest concerns regarding homelessness trends in Maricopa County in recent years and over this past year in particular?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious that the biggest challenge is there's not enough housing, and people are really struggling. The homeless population has increased, and we have to do more, a lot more, to make sure that we can meet the needs of these people that desperately need our help. And with the COVID pandemic, we've seen how housing has become really short, and at the same time, with housing becoming so hard to get into, we're actually seeing it really evaporate. So we are going to have to do everything we can to overcome this obstacle and really make more housing available to the people that are less fortunate.
Well, Mike, thank you so much for being here. We really, really appreciate your leadership. And, you know, Mike, I consider you the grandfather of nonprofits here in the Valley, and I've been so pleased to know you and to work with you since I joined. And you and I talked before COVID hit about your hopes for United Way to better support our community. What is your perspective on that now? I'm curious, since we're coming out of COVID, and in particular as it relates to housing and homelessness.
Well, even though we're at this crisis, I candidly speaking, I'm very excited about the opportunities that are being presented. I look at the MC26 and I look at what United Way is proposing to do, and I'm very encouraged. I actually see the United Way doing a almost what you would call a ruthless prioritization of what needs to be done to end homelessness. And the fact that you're taking on metrics and that you want measurable outcomes as opposed to just outputs is huge. And when you start to mix that with education, with workforce development, you're really delving and moving the bar so that it's not just hoping we can make change, but you're creating change. And I applaud you for that.
Thank you, Michael. We so appreciate you and your leadership, and I can't wait to jump into it with you.
And you know what, Michael mentioned just now, education, because in a community, all of these things work together, right? So let's move right on to our third area, which is education. Carla, please tell us more.
Well, over the next 5 years in the education area, we're going to focus on two ends of the spectrum. At one end, we'll start with early education through early grades to increase the number of students reading proficiently by 25%. At the other end, we'll focus on 16 to 24-year-olds to increase the number engaged in education or employment by 38%. We'll continue to support quality early education in partnership with First Things First and work with schools focusing on reading proficiency by the end of third grade, because we know that third grade level reading proficiency is an early indicator of high school graduation. And we'll engage our corporate partners, many of which you saw, and donors to bridge digital divides and engage volunteers to help students read at grade level. We'll expand supportive services for parents, caregivers, and teachers. And we'll partner with schools and districts to improve access to family resources within the school environment, which leads to greater student engagement both in and out of the classroom.
Carla, thank you so much for all that information. Now we want to bring in Stephanie Parra. Stephanie is the executive director of All In for Education, which is an organization focused on ensuring all communities have access to opportunities and justice. Stephanie serves on and was recently president of the Phoenix Union High School District Governing Board. Stephanie, thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you so much for having me.
So Stephanie, you just heard what Carla's goals, United Way's goals are with education. What do you think about this commitment to ensuring all of their work going forward takes into account a lens of diversity, equity, access, and inclusion so that all in our community have an opportunity to succeed?
I applaud it. I am so thrilled about this new vision and direction for Valley of the Sun United Way to really focus on equity, access, opportunity, and justice in our education system. It matters. The previous two speakers shared about the impacts of healthcare and housing. Those things absolutely impact educational attainment, and we have to have very honest conversations about systemic inequities, about poverty in our communities, and who is disproportionately being impacted by those systemic inequities. It is communities of color. It is our low-income families. We have to do more for them. We have to make targeted strategic investments in their futures, and I'm so thrilled that Carla is leading this work.
Well, Stephanie, thank you so much for being here. And Valley of the Sun United Way is so pleased to work with you and your organization, which is really at the cutting edge of equity in education. And a question I have for you, which our viewers might want to hear about, is what do you think of us focusing on two distinct points at the spectrum and opportunity gaps related to them, third grade level proficiency and in youth, to make sure that they're connected?
Absolutely. So, third grade reading really is an indicator of whether or not a student is going to graduate high school and enter the workforce. So critical early access to high quality early education is so important. So I'm glad that you have that emphasis there. But also on the back end, we have to make sure we have a very large population of disconnected youth who have disconnected from either their high school education or post-secondary education or employment opportunities. How are we going to bring them back so that they can be contributors to our local economy? We really have to, again, as I said earlier, the inequities are disproportionately impacting our communities of color, and they are the future of Arizona. 46% of the student population in our schools, in our K-12 schools, is Latino. We have to look at making sure that Latino students are ready to enter the workforce so that they can be valuable contributors to the state's future economy. So I appreciate the connection of early childhood education, but also making sure that our young people are ready to enter the workforce. It is absolutely needed, and the spectrum is right on point.
Stephanie, thank you so much. You're so passionate. We really appreciate you sharing that passion with everyone this morning.
Thank you, Stephanie. We really look forward to working together.
Thank you so much.
And Stephanie, just talking about the workforce, and that leads us right to our next area. As you know, throughout the pandemic, entire industries were decimated, and the resulting jobs that were lost, they're going to take a while to come back. Even prior to COVID, there was a gap between training and higher paying jobs, especially among young adults. And this leads us right into that fourth area of workforce development. Carla, we can't wait to hear more from you on this.
Well, thanks, Kristen, and you're absolutely right. Workforce development is so critical to our community right now and is another area that's relatively new to Valley of the Sun United Way as a part of this plan. And so we're working closely with businesses and education systems, as well as organizations like the Greater Phoenix Economic Council, the Chambers, and Greater Phoenix Leadership to solidify our strategies. And so to achieve our overarching goal of opening pathways to better paying jobs, we'll specifically work towards increasing the number of adults who complete a post-secondary certificate or degree by more than 1/3, and also increase the number of people who can upskill to secure higher paying employment by 20%. And to do this, we'll work with partners to increase access to work-based learning, apprenticeships, and mentoring for youth, and to help individuals, mostly adults, prepare to obtain higher paying jobs and sustainable careers. We'll partner with employers, business associations, nonprofits, colleges, universities, and technical schools to together build a cohesive long-term plan.
And joining us to provide insights from the business perspective is Jeff Goldner, Chairman, President, and CEO of APS, which you probably know provides a whole lot of energy to customers across our state and employs around 6,000 Arizonans. Jeff also chairs the board of directors of the Greater Phoenix Economic Council. So Jeff, welcome and congratulations to you and all of the APS employees honored as part of United Way's Hall of Gratitude.
Kristen, thank you, and Carla, thank you so much for that honor. It really means a lot to us.
So with all the job loss that we've seen through COVID-19, many organizations want to help people get jobs right now. And United Way has been talking with GPEC, which of course you chair, GPL, the Greater Phoenix Chamber, and others, and all agree a cohesive community-wide strategy is needed. So how can we all best work together from your perspective? And what's the best role for United Way to play right now?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think it's really critical that we understand that we have to look at workforce development from two perspectives. So first, it's very important that we support the growth in the community because that growth brings benefits. And so we need to have a workforce that will continue to attract new businesses and new residents to our state. But it's equally important that we think about the impact that the workforce programs have on the communities we serve. And so it's really looking at that community piece that I think United Way could be very impactful. Are we missing anything? Are there gaps that we need to close? Are there other opportunities? Are we reaching into our communities of color? How do we create programs that can complement the work that companies are doing to make sure that we've got trained workforce? All that's going to be really important. I think you've said it well. It's a network. It's an opportunity to leverage all these different programs together. But I think we can take advantage of that leverage.
Well, thank you, Jeff. We so appreciate your leadership, and APS is such a tremendous supporter of our community. It's an honor to be here with you today. And one of the questions I have for you is, how could Valley of the Sun United Way work with its 400 corporate partners to engage them in a conversation about this issue? And then I have a second piece to that, too, as to, since we're on the brink of somewhat emerging from COVID-19, how can we work with our companies as we work to get to somewhat of a new normal?
Carla, I think you can be a connector, and that's what United Way is so powerful and I think known for. And so think about how you could connect together, not just the companies and making sure we're using best practices, that we're doing things the right way, but connect us with those innovators, the partners you have in the community who will have ideas that we haven't thought of. And I think that's going to be really important as we emerge from COVID, because we're going to need those fresh ideas. We're going to need different perspectives. We're going to need folks who can be adaptable to the changes and the challenges that we're seeing. And you can really do that connection. You can knit the fabric together that brings not just the companies, but the partners you have that can bring us creative solutions.
Thank you so much, Jeff. We're thrilled to have you with us and really look forward to working with you and others on this critical issue.
Thank you so much to all of our guests. That was just so insightful. And if you're feeling like I am right now, you are fired up about what United Way has planned to do here in our county and to make our whole community a better place to live. And there is a lot of change ahead for the Valley. And United Way plans to track and report progress against these goals through an annual scorecard, which I think is just so amazing. I know all of you will want to be a part of this change. So again, if you want to keep track, we invite you to text Mighty Change, it's right there on your screen, to 51555. You're going to receive a link there and you're going to get even more details. Now, as noted earlier in the Hall of Gratitude tribute, Arizona State University is a tremendous partner and supporter of Valley of the Sun United Way. President Michael Crow, who himself is a longtime United Way supporter and member of your Foundation Circle and Tocqueville Society, couldn't be here with us today, but he did want to share his congratulations and his support. Take a look.
Hi, Michael Crow here, President, Arizona State University. Congratulations to United Way on 95th birthday. It's a tremendous organization, tremendous impact here in Metro Phoenix, in the Valley of the Sun. We, ASU, we're deeply committed to United Way and its success. We make it our #1 institutional connection to a philanthropically driven social enterprise, so we're really excited about all of that. We're very excited about the 3 things that are being focused on in the next 5 years: the reading proficiency, the opportunity youth, and the career pathways. These are all areas that we're deeply focused on. Also, new ways to drive up educational attainment, because that drives up social mobility. New ways to focus on the whole notion of people that are neither employed or in school. How do we find a way to excite them, to give them an opportunity? A lot of things that we've been doing have been focused on that. And then in terms of career pathways, we really think of it as a pathway to life, a pathway to college, a pathway to careers. That is, how do we get people on pathways, keep them on the pathways, and break down all the barriers toward that? So we're deeply committed to the United Way, 95 years to 100 years going forward, and we're committed to these 3 objectives that the United Way has put in place. And so we're very excited to continue our partnership and our relationship and to keep things moving in the right direction. So again, congratulations, 95 years, Valley of the Sun, United Way.
Thank you, President Crow. We really appreciated these kind words and ASU's leadership and ongoing support and partnership to achieve these goals for our community.
Amid all this planning, you received some very exciting and unexpected news in December that enabled your team to accelerate and elevate some key aspects of your MC 2026 plan.
We sure did.
Let's hear about that from you. I want you to be the one to share this because it is really amazing, Carla.
So philanthropist, author, and Amazon co-founder Mackenzie Scott, who you see pictured here, selected 384 nonprofit organizations around the country to collectively receive $4.2 billion to use at their discretion. And Valley of the Sun United Way and 3 other local nonprofits were chosen completely unsolicited by us for transformational gifts.
That is so incredible. And you must just, I mean, what did that feel like for you when you found that out?
It was pretty shocking and hard to believe for some time, but we're just so thrilled and ready to put it to work in the community.
So a huge surprise. So tell me a little bit more.
Came as an absolute surprise, and knowing after that phone call in December a little bit more about how Ms. Scott makes her philanthropic decisions, we know that it's not only a testament to our United Way, but really to our entire community and what we're trying to achieve together and what she wanted to help to move the needle on. So she saw it fit to invest in us. And Kristen, I'm so excited and really thrilled to share that we were chosen to receive $25 million.
That's crazy.
I know.
It's so amazing.
I'm a little breathless because of it right now, but she invested in us and specifically invested in us to help with urgent needs that are arising right now and continue to arise in response to COVID-19 and long-term change in the Valley.
Absolutely amazing. So what will be done with this gift, Carla?
Well, with this gift, we plan to provide multi-year support to foundational programs that have been even more stretched because of COVID, like food banks and pantries, emergency shelters, and closing the digital divide. And this is to stabilize our community through this time. We'll also focus on larger transformational investments to move the needle on the goals we share today. We'll make those investments each year for 5 years with the plan to engage other leaders, donors, companies, and investors to join us to expand the impact needed throughout our community. And we'll work alongside all of you to create deeper engagement opportunities involving members of our community like never before. Our plan is to deploy this gift directly into the community over the next 5 years, and we look forward to partnering with others to bring solutions to scale and engaging donors to join us with gifts to multiply the impact needed.
Now, Carla, I know this generous donation also allows you to start and scale some new partnerships, which is very exciting. And of course, you're going to be addressing needs facing our community right now. And this includes a new partnership with the Human Services Campus and ASU Nexus to bring a reimagined approach to Project Connect, bringing services to people who are experiencing homelessness. And we were just talking about this with Michael about how critical this need is right now.
That's right. You heard him say how so many more people are on hard times. And so that's why we want to bring this program back to the community in the COVID and post-COVID world. And details are still being finalized, but we really look forward to returning this life-changing program. Along those lines, we're also developing an innovative restaurant partnership to replicate a meal delivery model that was implemented in Orange County over the past 5 months, and it delivered more than 39,000 meals in 4 months. And we will scale our virtual tutoring platform as a tool to see how we can help to deliver other needed programs virtually, as we know that that's so necessary in this world across all of our areas of focus. And we're still in the early stages of developing all those, Kristen, but we are thrilled that the gift from Mackenzie Scott is allowing us to think differently along those lines.
Yeah, and these needs are all so timely. You guys are directly responding to what our community needs most at this time.
Yeah, we are just absolutely thrilled. And we're not alone in this. Mackenzie Scott chose 3 other gift recipients here in Maricopa County, and we are really proud to partner with them on a collaborative plan to steward her gift. And those gift recipients are the YWCA of the Valley, Southwest Human Development, Chicanos por la Causa for their Prestamos program. And each of them are already important United Way partners. And we've been meeting to discuss how we can together create exponential impact with her gift in this community.
This is such wonderful news for our whole community, Carla, and what an honor for Valley of the Sun United Way to have been chosen. It just says so much about the organization's track record of impact in the community, and it also speaks to just really how great Miss Scott sees our community and United Way and your ability to make that impact. She's trusting you with all of these funds because she knows you're going to change lives with this money. And I know someone else who's excited about this news and that Phoenix area nonprofits were selected. So please help me now welcome Phoenix Mayor Kate Gallego. Good morning, Mayor.
Thank you so much, Kristen. It is wonderful to be with you here today to celebrate Valley of the Sun United Way. 95 years strong and just getting started. The gift news is amazing. Mackenzie Scott will help us invest in this community and support the amazing work you are doing. And Carla and Jenny, I understand that part of the reason she chose Valley of the Sun United Way for such a large gift was her confidence in your leadership. So congratulations. It's a tribute to our community to have you guys leading the way. It comes at such an important time. We learned a lot of hard lessons in 2020, and we are still recovering from COVID-19, putting equity forward. But with your help, we have great days ahead. I have had the privilege of being part of several of Valley of the Sun United Way programs, including one to fight hunger. And those are the good days in this business when you can help a family, a mom know that she doesn't have to worry about food for her family, that she can focus on getting that great job and investing in literacy for her young children. I'm a mom of a 4-year-old, and I think one of the great days is also when you see a young person read a sentence for the first time. It is such a gift. Reading can take you everywhere, and investing in 3rd grade literacy could not be a smarter investment. You are doing great things and you have great partners. I also want to congratulate Southwest Human Development, CPLC, and the YWCA for receiving these very important gifts. We want the Valley of the Sun to be a place where you can seize opportunity and fulfill your dreams. With great nonprofit partners, we are going to be able to do so much. The next 95 years are going to be even better, and I can't wait to get started. Congratulations.
Well, thank you, Mayor Gallego. We're so thrilled to work with you and all with the City of Phoenix. And I will tell you, we will take your challenge to seize that opportunity to make this a better place for all, thanks to our partnerships and this incredible gift from Mackenzie Scott.
And it really is going to be an all-in effort, Carla, these next 5 years. It's so important to reiterate this because these are big issues. There's big work ahead to solve them. So talking about them is just the start. Mackenzie Scott's gift will enable some bold steps to achieving these goals, and it's also going to require every one of us to step up to help as well. Everybody's got to do their part, Carla.
Absolutely, and I'm so thrilled that I think we saw from our conversations these past 12 months and what we heard here today, people want to do their part. And there's a lot of work to do, and so we're so thrilled to have everyone come together. And over the next few months, we're going to roll out many ways for everyone to be a part of it. Even you, Kristen, I'm going to call you. Because we cannot do this alone, and we need all of you to create mighty change. And we'll be working with our nonprofit partners to develop plans to move the needle on these goals. We'll be making longer-term funding commitments, like we mentioned, to our partners, thanks to the generosity of Mackenzie Scott. And we hope and we know that this is truly going to help to stabilize our community as we emerge from the impacts of COVID-19.
Well, Carla, we cannot thank you enough for your commitment to our community and for just the endless amounts of information that you gave this morning. This was a tall task leading up to this event, and we just appreciate so much every single bit of information that you've shared with us today, Carla.
Thank you very much. The Valley of the Sun United Way team has been hard at work for this community these past 12 months, and we're excited for the next 5 years.
Absolutely, and thank you for being here for the unveiling of this amazing plan. It's been such a great program.